Welcome back to the Crochet Cradle. So it's my friends at yarnspirations.com. We're going to do my own pattern today, the yoga bag, and this is for crochet for a standard yoga mat. So this here will be holding this as you go in and out, possibly of the gym or wherever you're storing it. And what we have is Red Heart Super Saver Jumbo Stripes in the color called Bright Stripe. So what we have here is that the color is just transitioning on itself. Once we get beyond the base of this, it's just a continuous circle around and around and around till you get to the top. And then there's a tie that's added and then a strap. So we're going to begin today using a 5.5mm size eye crochet hook. You can also use equivalent yarn to Red Heart Super Saver, maybe a different color, and etc. It'll all work. Let's begin. Let's create a slip knot to begin. Put that on the hook, and we're going to chain 4. So 1, 2, 3, and 4, and slip stitch it to the beginning chain and yarning over like that to create the center ring at the base of the bag. Let's begin round number 1. To begin round number 1, you're going to chain 1. That will not count as a stitch, and I want you to put 12 double crochets in the center of the ring, and we'll count these out together. So we have 1, and go right up over top of the straggler to trap it into the ring. This is 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, and 12. Even as an experienced crocheter, even though I always double count to make sure that there's the right number on the beginning round. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. And on the 12th one back, that's where you're going to slip stitch to form the circle. If you went over top of the straggler, just turn it around to the back side, trim it, and let's move on to round number 2. Round number 2, and going forward, I'm going to give you the set of instructions, and you'll put me on pause, and then you'll do it. So let's continue. You're going to chain 1, will not count as a stitch. In every one of the 12 double crochets, you are going to apply 2 double crochets in each. So 1 and 2. And then move on to the next one and 2 into that one. Please do this all the way around. If you need the stitch counts, they're available on the free pattern that's linked in the video description, and I'll be right back in a moment. At the end of the round, there is 2 double crochets in the last one. That's just a matter of keeping the stitch counts. And when you come around, this always looks like an extra stitch, but it's not. It's part of the original. And then just slip stitch it to the top of the first double crochet and pull tight. And let's move on to your next round. Your next round, here we go. We're going to chain 1, and you're going to put 2 double crochets in the first one. I don't know why I'm slipping on that today. So 2 doubles in the first, and then 1 into the next. The colors will be changing on its own, that you'll see in just a moment. So there's going to be 2 double crochets in the next, and then 1 into the next one after that. So just let the colors just change on its own, and maybe at the end of the round in a moment. Coming up to the end of the round is just 1 into the last one. That's just a matter of keeping the stitch counts, and just slip stitch to the top of the beginning double crochet. Let's move on to the next round. Moving on to the next round, just chain up 1 and apply 2 double crochets into the first one that has the join. And then the next 2 are one by itself. And I'm going to show you a little trick in just a moment. So you'll notice that there's 2 double crochets that share the same. It's the first one that will always have 2 into it. So you got 2 into that one, and then the next 2 are by themselves. Okay, so you see that one has got the 2, first one has 2, and the next 2 are by themselves. Please do this around for this round. At the end of the round, you're just going to join to the beginning double crochet. Let's move on to your next round next. So once you get to the sides, you'll see the colors will transition a lot better. Let's begin that next. So here we go. We're going to chain 1, put 2 double crochets into the first one, and then the next 3 are by themselves. Okay. And it's the same trick as that I showed you in the last round. So the first one of a group of 2 below is always going to have 2. So you see how there's 2. The first one always has 2. And then the next 3 are by themselves. Please do that same sequence around, and I'll see you at the end of the round. So coming up on the end of this round, we have one more round of growth, and then we'll be moving on to the sides. So you need this to get to the right size, or your bag will never, or your mat will never finish, or to get inside. So let's move on to your next round. Your last round of growth is just chain 1 and apply 2 double crochets into the first, and then the next 4 are by themselves. So we have 1, 2, 3, and 4. Once you have that done, the next one is 2 into there and against the first one of the group, if you see that, of the 2. So have 2 and then 4 by itself. Please do this final sequence all the way around. I'll be right back. So I'm coming around and I'm slip stitching. So you can see the jumps of the pattern coloring just like you see here. And this is the bottom of the bag, so I'm not worried about it so much. But now going forward, we're going to do what is called as a continuous round, where we are literally going to just go over and over and over, around and around, and the colors will naturally, they will change, but they will look like they belong. And we're gonna move on to your first round, and then from this point forward after that, we're gonna go to something new. So let's do our first round. We're gonna get ourselves just established, and at the end of this round, we do not wanna join. So we're just gonna chain 1, and we're going to single crochet the first. Chain 2, skip 2, and single crochet the next. And you're gonna do this around, and this is what's really gonna speed this thing up. So just chain 2, skip 2, single crochet the next, and you do that around, but do not finish it when you get back around. And please, maybe at the end of the round in a moment. So in getting back around, you chain 2, skip the 2, but I don't want you to join to here. So what we're gonna do is start split single crochet next, and split single crochet is really what's dominant in the pattern itself, and it's really quite cool. Let me show you a demonstration of that. This has been provided by yarnspirations.com, and normally when we go to single crochet, we go underneath the 2 loops here, and this is where it goes. In split single crochet, what we're gonna do is we're gonna split between the legs of this to open it up to give it the look that yoga bag has. So we have to just watch for that. So because I have the chain 2 in between the stitches, you're gonna see this a lot easier than it would be if every stitch was like this. Let's begin that. So starting the next round, it's going to be a continuous round, and because we're not going to do a join, you're just going to go around and around and around until you get 24 inches long from this point right here to the top of the bag. Okay, so usually in crochet, we go right here in the top, and this is a single crochet, but that's not a split single crochet. The split is actually going to split the legs of the crochet stitch itself. So let's pull that back out. So what I want to do is see the legs. This is a chain 1, so just ignore this. See the legs right here? You're going to go right in between the legs from front to back and single crochet, and it will split those legs apart. So do you see the legs? So normally you would crochet here, but I want you to go in between the 2 legs. So chain 2, go between the legs, split it, chain 2, and in between the legs. Once you understand the legs, you're going to see how this will work up really quite quick. So chain 2, and you keep going around in this thing, formation. So I'll come all the way around and show you one more time. And so that one, I accidentally got a real stitch. So what I want to do is just back it out and make sure I split the legs. So just keep an eye on that. It'll be visible if you do skip that element. So careful with that, and it's really not that hard. And I'll be right back at the end of this round. So I'm coming back around, and so I chain 2 and then I skip over and go right into the split. So a split for a split, and you continue to go that. So you want to continue to go around and around until it's 24 inches from the point where the split starts right here all the way to the top of the bag. And when you're done at the top, you're just going to finish closely to where this is. Okay, so you'll finish approximately here, and I will show you that in a second. So this is creating a chain 2 holes that it will be using the tie for at the top of the bag. Let me come back in just a moment. So let's just say I got to 24 inches tall. I just chained 2 and then just slip stitch it to the beginning 1. Okay, so just do that, and therefore you can just weave off your ends. And we're going to talk about the remaining of this, because the remaining you can use the video description. There's a link to the free pattern where more of that other tutorials to help you finish this will be done. So this here will be obviously much longer, and the transition then going up will be really quick fun. Once you have this done, then what you can do is just chain 120 and then single crochet second chain from the hook all the way back to create the tie. So because I would want to attach the bag handle right here at this point, I'm going to use the final loops here to put the strap, or sorry, that tie through. So just start at the back and just weave it in and out of this all the way to the front side. So opposite here will then have the bow tie for their tie to close it off. We also then have a strap. The strap is done through a twisting effect that's done, and there's a link to that video here on YouTube. Look at the video description. There's a link to the pattern. It's inside that. And so what you want to do is that you want to create that strap to be 24 inches tall. It's going to stretch just naturally, so just make it 24 inches, just slightly stretched, and then you are going to sew it to the base of the bag right here, and then at the top of the bag you were going to sew it approximately right in this area here. So just leave the first holes open so that you can apply the tie to that, and it's really quite fun. When you do the ties, make sure that you're using the yarn from the ball, from the interior and the exterior, so you're using 2 strands at one time to make that strap. Therefore it's going to be nice and strong for you, and therefore that's all this is. So once you get to this particular moment here of this particular, like going around and around, you'll see that it's really quite easy, and you'll see the stitches will line up perfectly and giving this illusion. If you don't use the split, then it won't look like that, but that's a call that you can make for yourself. This here is the yoga bag.